There was no protest in front of Muhyiddin's house last night. Instead, those present for the dinner and meeting reiterated their support for the Bersatu president. Meanwhile, Hajiji says the incumbent GRS-led Sabah state government has stood firm against cartels in the state's mineral license application process. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. A supposed protest backing Bersatu Deputy President Hamzah Zainudin outside Muhyiddin Yassin's house last night did not materialize. Instead, the only demonstration was a show of support by Muhyiddin's dinner guests for the embattled president.
Kami sokong Presiden! Kami sokong Presiden! Kami sokong Presiden! Tenang-tenang.
Earlier this week, when invitations for Bersatu MPs to attend the dinner were leaked, a poster began circulating in WhatsApp circles calling for a rally to defend Hamzah, who is being pitted against the party president. However, those close to Hamzah dismissed it as a black ops attempt at tarnishing the opposition leader's reputation. Sources told Malaysia Kini that the 18 MPs there had dinner, and this was followed by a meeting which only ended close to 11 p.m. Speaking to reporters later, Sabah Bernam MP Kalam Saland said that they had only discussed the Sabah election and how to strengthen the party. He added that they did not discuss anything at all related to replacing the opposition leader or replacing the party president. Several other MPs also briefly reassured the press that everything has gone well and to not worry. Muhyiddin has been under pressure from his opponents in the party to hand over the reins to Hamzah, with critics saying this is needed to revitalize Bersatu and build momentum for the next general election. M Indira Gandhi will pull the plug on the upcoming Justice March and drop all civil cases filed against the government and the police if her daughter, Prasana Diksa, is returned to her. This was announced by Indira Gandhi Action Team chairperson Arun Dorasamy today. In a press conference, he said the only objective behind all the legal action and protests is for Indira to be reunited with her daughter. The Justice March, which is organized by Ingat and Agamam Ani Malaysia, will take place this Saturday, November 22nd. Among the goals for this protest is for Indira to meet and present Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail with Prasana's teddy bear. The bear serves as a reminder of the many broken promises and years of delayed justice. Commenting on the protest, Arun said that the march will only end when the IGP agrees to meet them. He also pointed out that the police have remained silent even after evidence surfaced linking Ridwan to Budi 95 and Sarah 8 transactions. Meanwhile, Indira, who joined the press conference online, said that the protest is her last attempt to reunite with her daughter. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. Several questions have been raised over FIFA's revelations that the 7 suspended heritage footballers had passed the Bahasa Malaysia language test when applying for citizenship despite not speaking the language. One of those questions is whether Home Minister Saifuddin Aswan Ismail had quizzed the players like he did with several elderly women who were applying for citizenship last year. This is in reference to a video the minister posted in March 2024 of him inspecting a language test being done for citizenship applicants in Perak. In the video, Saifuddin was shown speaking to the elderly women in Malay to check whether they had sufficient proficiency in the national language. The comparison was made by some netizens in response to revelations made by the FIFA Appeals Committee yesterday in upholding sanctions against the 7 foreign-born players and the Football Association of Malaysia. The committee, in summarizing submissions by the players, noted that they did not speak the Malaysian language and did not read the citizenship application form they signed because they did not understand the language. However, the committee noted that the FAM, in its submissions, had said that the players had passed the language test when applying for citizenship. Saifuddin had previously said in Parliament that the players had a basic grasp of Malay. Sabah Caretaker Chief Minister Hajiji Noor believes the negotiations on Sabah's 40% entitlement to the federal revenue it collects can be settled within 3 months as per the High Court order in October. However, his latest remarks did not mention any plans to challenge Putrajaya's position that the ruling about the lost years, where revenue payments were not reviewed, was unfair. In a statement from his office, Hajiji revealed that he had spoken to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim about the appeal before it was filed. He said Anwar had called him and said, "Inshallah, we will not appeal the 40%. He added that what is being appealed by the Attorney General's chambers is wording that they felt was not fair about past governments. He was quoted as saying to give them time to resolve it and that negotiations had been held. Once it is settled, we will have more revenue. Hajiji did not share his thoughts about the parts of the High Court ruling that Putrajaya is appealing. The government is complying with an order to hold negotiations with Sabah, with the first round of talks between the State Secretary and Treasury Secretary General being held on Monday. Hajiji, however, said he doesn't know how much the quantum would be. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Still on Hajiji, the GRS chairperson said that the incumbent GRS-led Sabah state government had to stand firm against cartels allegedly attempting to manipulate and monopolize the state's mineral license application process. Hajiji reportedly said that the state government set up Sabah Mineral Management Sendirian Berhad to oversee all mineral resources and that all license approvals were subject to a legitimate and transparent process. According to Free Malaysia Today, he said the licensing application process was equipped to detect any attempt at manipulation with safeguards in place to flag irregular practices. He added that they had identified numerous irregularities during the submission of prospecting license applications. Elaborating, Hajiji reportedly said that there were cases where applicants, colluding with senior government officials, had used up to 10 different companies to secure licenses. He did not mention any names, but was quoted as saying that one particular individual from West Malaysia had attempted to exploit the system. Hajiji also insisted that much of the criticism leveled at his administration stemmed from prospecting licenses that had already expired and therefore lapsed automatically. He said the state government's priority was to ensure that Sabah's minerals were protected from being exploited by those with vested interests. MACC chairperson Azam Baki had previously said Hajiji was not involved in the scandal exposed last year by businessperson Albert Tay. Lawyer Mahjot Singh has criticized the police after they classified his client's report against incumbent Membangkut Assemblyperson Arifin Arif as no further action. In a statement yesterday, Mahjot, who represents businessperson Albert Tay, described the decision as disappointing. He said they were informed that the case was closed on the basis that it is civil in nature. He added that this is difficult to reconcile with the fact that the complaint involved a false report, which is a criminal matter and not a civil dispute. Mahjot stated that Tay had followed up on the matter since early this year and even brought the matter to the IPCC when there was no action by the police. He said to now conclude it as NFA does not inspire confidence in the process. He cautioned that the decision risks creating the impression that making a false report is inconsequential, which is a worrying message to the public. On February 6, Tay lodged a counter-police report against Arifin after the latter lodged a report claiming he had been slandered over a Malaysia Kini report linked to the Sabah scandal. Arifin had read out a statement denouncing the allegations as inaccurate, misleading, and contains facts that are wrong and slanderous. In his counter-report, Tay stated that he was willing to be arrested and charged if investigations proved his allegations false. Tay had also filed a report with the Independent Police Conduct Commission on July 7th over alleged police inaction on his reports against Arifin. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.